Hello everyone, this is your girl Color Me Bad Lynn, back to share about 4 or 5 pretty fragrances that I love in my collection that start off with a really loud, alarming blast, but end up being really, really beautiful and sensual fragrances. But before we get into that, I do want to formally greet you and welcome you to my channel. This is your girl Color Me Bad Lynn. Greetings and welcome to our channel, especially if this is your very first time ever meeting me. Just to give you a little bit of a brief scenario about who I am and what we do over here in Color Me Bad Nation. I am a beauty professional, just to name one of many things that I do. Basically, we talk all things beauty. We talk about the fragrances that are in my collection, those that are on my wish list. Maybe we'll get into the fragrances that are in your collection and on your wish list. We'll talk about natural skincare. We'll talk a little bit about makeup. We'll talk about all types of hair. We'll talk about love, relationships, romance, dating, family issues, and faith, most importantly. And if I forgot to mention anything, we will talk about that as well. So let's get into it. I don't want to keep you guys too long, but the fragrances that I want to share with you come from the beauty house or cosmetic company of Elizabeth Arden. I've shared on several occasions that I really, really enjoy Elizabeth Arden fragrances. Now, the ones that I'm going to share with you today, I think there's only 4. They're not all of the ones that I have in my collection, but these are ones that I very rarely gravitate towards, but I really enjoy these fragrances. These are fragrances that start off really, really loud and boisterous, and they will be labeled as kind of like off-putting fragrances to most people. But they're the kind of fragrances that once you let them simmer down, you are in for a treat. So let's go ahead and get into it. Trying to see here. We will start with, I don't know if this is the oldest out of the bunch, but we'll start with this one. This one is Elizabeth Arden's 5th Avenue. So we'll start with that one. As you can see, there's a little bit of juice missing out of this one. And let's see, do I have any? I have a few fake fragrance strips handy. So I'm going to spray and see what we get out of this one. I don't wear this fragrance that often, but when I do, I really, really enjoy this particular fragrance. Again, these are fragrances that when you spray out on them, they are extremely loud. Like the kind of fragrances where you be like, whoa. And most people wouldn't wear these fragrances. Like a lot of people just wouldn't wear them, but they're so pretty. So this fragrance for me, and what I like about this fragrance the most is it has a mandarin orange note in it. You don't smell that right away, but that's what I like most about this. It also has a rose note, a Bulgarian rose note in this fragrance, which I absolutely love. If you are familiar with Splendor, Splendor, in my opinion, is like a spin-off of 5th Avenue, and also True Love. If you like those types of fragrances, then you will probably like 5th Avenue, if not love it. They start off really, really loud. Like both of those fragrances I like, but they start out so loud that if you overspray either of those fragrances, they will give you a headache if you're allergic to certain floral notes and fragrances. One of my favorite fragrances of Elizabeth Arden is Splendor, but I cannot wear that fragrance. I don't know what it is in that fragrance, but it gives me an instant migraine headache. I don't know what it is, but there's something that they use in that fragrance that really, really, really gets to me, and I cannot wear that fragrance. I've tried it several times through the years. When I worked in cosmetics years and years ago, I was gifted a bottle, I think like 2 bottles of it, and I tried to play around with that fragrance. I put it down, come back to it a couple years later, pick it up and like, I want to wear this today. And every time I would get a really bad migraine headache. So this fragrance has a similar note to that, along with True Love. But those fragrances, in my opinion, are so beautiful. So if you can wear them and the floral notes that are in them don't get to you and give you that reaction, you're in for a treat. Like this one, it's starting to mellow out. It's really, really pretty. This is probably in a category of what I would call an old lady frag. It's been around for a while. I think since like 1996 or something like that. So for most beauty lovers, you probably have either never heard of this one. It may be something that maybe your grandmother or your mom wore or something like that, and it's just something that's just totally out of your taste bud realm. But I like this fragrance. It just does something for me. Very, very pretty, very pretty. So the first one is Elizabeth Arden, Fifth Avenue. If you can stand and get past that first really, really loud blast of that fragrance, you're in for a treat. But you gotta get past that first blast, right? All right, so moving on to our next fragrance. The next one on the list is Revealed by Red Door. I recently came on and talked a little bit about this fragrance. I really, really like this one. Let's go ahead and spray a card so we can kind of give you a little bit of about what we smell on this one. This one was launched back, I believe, in 2003. So it's been around for a while. Most of these fragrances that I'm sharing today have been around for a while. I think one is a little bit more current. But again, this one is Red Door Revealed. And in case you're wondering why I'm showing you fragrances like this, one would probably be deemed a more of a springtime, summertime fragrance. These are the types of fragrances that I wear in cooler months, when it's rainy, when it's cool outside. You know, when we're transitioning from like winter to spring, when we're moving from summer to fall and fall to winter, these are the types of fragrances that smell the best on me. I can't wear this in the summer. I can try to spray it down, but it does nothing for me in hot weather. But during this time of the year, it works for me. So I'll be coming on and sharing a lot of fragrances that most people will be like, oh, I'm really into, it's going into fall and I only wear fall fragrances in the fall. Well, I don't. I wear a lot of summer and springtime fragrances in the winter. So you'll hear me come on and share a lot of my fragrances that would mostly be categorized as a summer or springtime fragrance in the winter months. So I'm just giving you a heads up if you watch any of my recordings to kind of save you on the comments down below of making a comment like, oh, I would only wear that in the springtime or whatever the case may be. I'm the total opposite of that. If you've seen any of my other videos, I wear a lot of summer and spring fragrances in the winter. That's when they work best for me. So you're gonna hear me come on and talk a lot about summer and spring fragrances in the wintertime. So I'm just giving you a heads up. So this is starting to calm down. This has a heavy note of plum in it, but it was done really beautifully. This is really, really good. I don't know if you've ever noticed, and if how long you've been collecting fragrances and how in depth you are with knowing your notes, knowing your fragrances, knowing your houses. But if you ever really get really into collecting fragrances, you will find that most fragrances under certain beauty houses, cosmetic companies, niche brands, so on and so forth, all have a similar scent to them. You can tell that this is an Elizabeth Arden fragrance. You can tell that it's a flanker of the original Red Door. I do have a couple of Red Door fragrances in my collection. My favorite I'll be coming on and sharing with you in just a bit. But this is so pretty to me. Again, this has a little bit of a rose note in it. It has a little bit of oak moss in the base. Also a little bit of black amber. I don't know if you know, but I'm a lover of amber. I like white amber. I love regular amber. I like black amber. Amber I love in all of my fragrances. So you'll find me talking a lot about, again, amber, floral fragrances, fruity amber fragrances. I love them. This is really, really good. It's very feminine. It's really dainty. It's a little bit softer than your original Red Door. I don't know what oh, here's the cap. Just so you know, the cap to this is plastic. But it doesn't take away from the beauty and the classiness of the scent of this fragrance. If you like Red Door, or if Red Door is a little bit too heavy for you, but you do love Elizabeth Arden fragrances, and you bump into this fragrance somewhere like in a discounter store, or if you're shopping online and you see this fragrance on sale and you're like, I got a little bit of extra change, let me see what's up with this fragrance. Give this a try. It's so soft and dainty and delicate. It's really, really pretty. It's a beautiful, beautiful bedtime fragrance if you don't like to layer up with this fragrance. I don't think I've ever worn this one by itself, but I'm definitely going to play around with this winter and see what it does for me. Definitely, I have a really nice body butter, a rose scented body butter from the Body Shop, Bulgarian Rose, and I'm definitely going to give that, well, I think it's British Bulgarian Rose or something like that, but nonetheless, I'm gonna try it with this and see what we come up with. Again, Revealed by Red Door is one of my favorites Elizabeth Arden fragrances. I'm only coming on and sharing 4 of the Elizabeth Arden fragrances in my collection that I'll be wearing in the fall. Again, some of them would be deemed spring and summer fragrances. Just to save you down in the comment box below, I wear a lot of spring and summer fragrances in the fall and winter. That's just how my body chemistry is, and that's how I rock. Okay, all right. And so the next one that I want to share with you guys is a really pretty fragrance. This one is Provocative Woman, and this one was launched in 2004, I believe. This is so pretty. Again, this is another one that comes out of the bottle really, really strong. So this could be an off-putting fragrance for some. If you don't like really, really loud fragrances, it will throw you off, because you're probably going to think when you first spray this out, oh no, we're not doing this today. We are not doing this today. You're going to run everybody out of the bedroom or wherever you get dressed. So if you do like this fragrance, you want to make sure before you clear out the area that you apply this, so that you don't offend anybody else in the household. If you're getting dressed and there is more than just you at home, that you make sure that they are excused. This is really pretty to me. I love a powdery fragrance. It doesn't know any like thing in the fragrance that would create a powderiness to this, but normally if there is iris in a fragrance or a violet note in a fragrance, that's where your powdery note normally comes from. And I get that like right off. This smells like a really, really clean baby. You know how you put the baby lotion on and you put, we don't use a whole lot of powder, but you might do just a little bit of powder, but on a grown note tip. This smells so good to me. It's a really, really clean, very floral, very sexy. It is extremely provocative, which I really love about this fragrance. I love the clear juice, so you can spray this on something white or light, a light garment, and it won't stain your garment. It's really, really soft and sexy, you guys. This does have a note of rose in it as well. It's really pretty. I haven't sprayed out on this in a while, and so a lot of times if I grab a fragrance and come on and share it with you guys, you'll notice I'll get stuck on it for a second, and that's because I am appreciating the notes that are in the fragrance, and it's been a while since I've smelled this. I did spray out on this a little bit in the summertime, I do remember. I combined this with something else that I was wearing, probably a fragrance, either my Tea Rose or probably Rose and Oud by Al Hermaine, and probably sprayed a little bit of this underneath it before I came on top with my main fragrance. Very, very sexy. If you are wanting to have on a really, really sexy fragrance, something with a little tingle to it, very seductive. It's date night for you and your significant other, and you want something on that's really, really going to linger while you have on your lingerie. This is a beautiful fragrance. This is what I would call a lingerie fragrance. This is something that you would spray down in and definitely leave a trail. I wouldn't deem this a hussy scent, but this is definitely something that you can tell I'm old school. But this is definitely something that you wouldn't want to wear to church. This is something that you probably wouldn't want to wear to work. Unless you have your own office and you won't offend anybody. This is like really, really loud, really strong, and extremely sexy and seductive. Again, Provocative Woman by Elizabeth Arden. So if you're looking for a really, really sexy fragrance to wear when you put on your beautiful negligee, lingerie, sexy garments for you and your significant other, that is a perfect scent. It will do the trick. And you don't have to overspray with that one, because if you do, you may make everybody run out of the house. Okay? It's really loud. Then my last fragrance that I wanted to share with you guys. I have several others. Like I stated before, I like Elizabeth Arden fragrances. I really, really do. This one is Red Door. This is a limited edition of Red Door. It's a little bit different than the original Red Door. This one is 25 and it was created in or launched in 2014. So if you actually have Red Door, I'm going to show you the difference in the bottle. This is what this particular Red Door looks like. And again, this one is 25. It's not Aura. And this one has blackberry in it and raspberry in the top notes. You get that as soon as you spray this out. I love this fragrance, you guys. Like, I had my roommate in college. She got me hip to this fragrance. And when I tell you, she used to spray down and I could always tell when she was on her way to class, because she was she was sprayed down, and it's the only perfume she used to wear, you guys, was Red Door. And she would spray herself down in this, and I used to go, what in the hell? I'm talking about, it wasn't loud, like extremely loud, and I wasn't used to that, because I didn't wear Red Door and Elizabeth Arden fragrances back then, so I didn't know anything about it. This one is a little bit different. It's a lot softer. It's a little bit more sophisticated. It's a lot cleaner. You can really, really smell the berries in this, which I really appreciate. And I really, really enjoy this fragrance. It also blasts out really loud when you first spray this out. So again, it may be a little bit off-putting for some, but I'm telling you, if you give this a chance, it has a little bit of a clean, soapy vibe to it also. This is not for everybody. So don't get me wrong. Like I said, Elizabeth Arden fragrances always tend to pop out of the bottle really, really loud. So if you don't like those types of fragrances, please don't venture out, because you will be pissed at me for no reason. I'm warning you ahead of time. If you can't handle that really loud blast that comes out of the bottles, you're not going to care for any of their fragrances. Even like the original green tea blast out really, really loud. But if you let this fragrance calm down, you will smell this all day long. You will create a beautiful scent bubble. You will get compliments on this. And even if no one else appreciates your fragrance of choice of the day, you will enjoy it. It's so pretty, you guys. This is such a beautiful fragrance. This is probably gonna go on my sexy church girl fragrance list, because that's what this reminds me of. It is absolutely gorgeous. So if you don't have Red Door 25, this is a limited edition of Red Door. It is a flanker of Red Door. It's a little bit softer, a little bit sexier, has a little bit more of a soapier vibe to it. You will definitely enjoy this fragrance. So I wanted to come on and share those particular fragrances with you guys. Yeah, so I wanted to come on and share those fragrances with you guys, you can actually find those fragrances for really, really affordable prices. You can find them on Fragrance X, Perfume X. You can find those types of fragrances in discounter stores, Amazon, you name it. You can find Elizabeth Arden fragrances a little bit of anywhere. I'm not sure if they still have Elizabeth Arden fragrance counters in the retail stores. It's been a really long time since I've actually walked through a cosmetic department to see what cosmetic counters they actually still have in place. We get a lot of our information online, and then I get emails from companies, sometimes to try things out and things of that nature. So I'm not sure. I am aware of like certain counters that are in a couple of stores, but I don't know. I know they have minimalized so many of our smaller counters that we used to have back in the day, like Fashion Fair and Prescriptives and Clarins, counters like that. And so I'm not sure if they still have an Elizabeth Arden counter. I remember back in the day where they had like a small nook, like right on the side of like counters like Shiseido and things of that nature. So, and Boucheron, I love Boucheron fragrances. So, those are the types. But you definitely can find those fragrances online if you are looking for them. Again, they're always extremely affordable. Your green tea fragrances are extremely affordable. Some of your newer fragrances from Elizabeth Arden may be a little bit higher price, but they're still really, really reasonable, especially when you get those coupons from Fragrance Net and Perfume X. They always have really good coupon deals. Like they send you an email every day with some kind of coupon you add on to the end of your total, and normally it ends up taking care of like your shipping and handling or whatever. But so I wanted to come on and share those because I get a lot of messages talking about fragrances and what fragrances do you recommend and what fragrances do you have in your collection that are extremely affordable. What do you think about these fragrances in this house and all of that? And so I try to come on and talk about the ones that I have in my collection that are extremely affordable, because I am down with smelling good and not spending all of your money up on your fragrances. I do have some higher end fragrances in my collection, but I love talking about the ones that smell absolutely amazing, that don't cost a whole lot, because it just makes sense, right? All right, so I wanted to come on and share those extremely loud out of the gate fragrances that when they mellow down, baby, you smell absolutely amazing. So if you have any Elizabeth Arden fragrances in your collection that I didn't name today, that you would like to share with me, I will be more than happy to hear from you. I don't have all of Elizabeth Arden's fragrances in my collection, but I've smelled just about all of them. I haven't had all of them in my collection throughout the years, but I've had quite a bit, and I would love to hear from you. So this is your girl Color Me Badly, and I wanted to again come on and chat it up with you guys about 4 of the Elizabeth Arden fragrances that I'll probably be rocking this fall. Great transitional fragrances from the summer to the fall. Again, just to save you down in the comments, I wear spring and summer fragrances in the fall and winter. That's just how I rock. I'm the total opposite of everybody else. I flip my fragrances. They work better for me. So share with me down in the comments what fragrances you'll be rocking from summer to fall and fall to winter. I can't wait to hear from you, and I can't wait to meet you over on Instagram. Bye for now. We will see you on the next video. Thank you guys. Bye bye.